Good morning, World of Warships. This is Lord Han 4293, and I gotta give a shout out to Volron for sending us Nottingham. Nottingham is a ship that was, we all know was locked behind a pretty hefty paywall. So thank you so much for sending this to us, for those that weren't able to get it. Now his team, Kaga, Bismarck, Fuso, Cleveland, Algerine, and Monte Cockroach. Now, from what he sent me, I asked him on the forums, is there anything I should know about this ship? He said it was a high-risk, high-reward ship, and that it was squishy. Well, after looking at it on my side with the mod station, extended tech tree, yeah, this thing's coated in 25mm armor. So, every ship that he's facing, mostly cruisers, is just gonna, well, it's gonna pin him all over his ship.
Enemy force detected. Awaiting instructions. Enemy destroyer sighted.
Now, one of the only reasons why I don't really want this ship, I mean, I love high risk, high reward ships, but I don't want this ship because, I mean, it's not tanky because it doesn't have the 25mm armor, and then the wargaming, they take away its heel in super testing. Or when they're testing it. It's like, they've done that with like the Hampshire, the Nottingham. The only one that gets it is, I think, the Belfast. And the Belfast is mediocre. At least give us a decent option. Honestly, the only good British ships for ops are, honestly, Warspite, Hood, and Vanguard. Other than that, that's those are the only ones that I can actually sign off on, are those three ships. Indomitable, I have a review coming out. It's good, but it's not great. And I don't have Colossus, so I can't say anything about Colossus. But like most carriers and ops, it would be situational. So it's mainly just the battleships that are the key op ships. That's just how it is. I wish they would give us a cruiser that had a health pool. Now he does take a lot of health off those DDs. He's at 15,000. Salvo going in, AP. It's about 11,000 right there. Myoku accelerating. It's about probably 16,000 just between those two salvos. Oof, 15,000. So that's 31,000 on that Myoku right there. And he picks that up slowly. Yeah, he basically killed that Myoku all by himself. From what I can tell, if you can minimize the squishiness, you can do really good in this ship. And the shell arcs aren't that bad. And the speed is pretty decent. You got about 6,000 on an angled, basically, Myoku. That's about 10,000 just there in AP pins. So she does hit hard. It's gonna take a lot of torps from that Kaga though. I hate to be on that Japanese ship. All four. Oof. But that's the only really thing I really wish. Now he does pick up both Myokus. He's about at 81,000. And we're not even through, well, the second wave yet. And yes, this ship does get 16 torpedoes. You can count those torpedo tubes right. It has 16 torpedoes that are 8 kilometer range, from what he told me. So, if you could pull a funny off, I guess, in Ultimate Frontier in this thing, that'd be kind of cool. Now, what's the max torp damage on these? 15,000? So, yeah, if you drop every torp on... Drop, like, say, one set on each battleship, and then split the last one up with probably putting one on each, so say 5 torps on each, could kill every battleship in, well, Ultimate Frontier. And you could probably be looking at about 300k just on the first, by the time the planes arrive. It's a lot of damage.
Torpedoes to starboard. The ship is on fire. Torpedoes to starboard.
Yeah, not even through the second wave, and he's basically crossed the 100k mark. I get why he didn't shoot that DD, because I figured he thought the CV would get it. But also, with the amount of damage he's putting out on these DDs, there's no doubt he's going to be at the top of the team. Volron is one of the few. He really is. I mean, as you know, he is a closed beta tester, so he has that flag. He's one of the few players that I consider that have been around, that have stayed around. And we just don't see these kind of players anymore, at least in randoms. But I mean, Volron has basically, you know, like he's told me that he's basically abandoned randoms and just gone mostly to ops, which I totally understand. I mean, I do mostly ops and a slight bit of, you know, well, randoms every now and then. Next patch, though, I will be doing more randoms for that new tier 10 ship. I know I did say I was going to grind out dies in and do all that, but stuff came up and I wasn't able to get dies in. But I will be making the grind for that new tier 10 Lucian, which is basically a neutered Nutrishimi. But it still looks like a pretty interesting ship. Maybe they'll give us some kind of thing in the middle, I hope. We haven't heard much about it. Like, picks up that DD. It's up to...
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
Well, 130, and we've just now started the attack on the base. Can't beat that kind of damage. But you see that the AA is just not good. It's not good. That seems to be the trend with every, you know, British warship, is that, well, except battleships. The cruisers just don't have the AA. Unless it's like Neptune and Minnow.
Attention, reporting the target position.
AP Shell's going in on it, and Kagatorps. Let's see who gets the kill. Okay, so he snags that kill. He needs one more to get natural selection. Chimayoko's in an Atago.
The ship is on fire!
Enemy destroyer detected.
Smoke generator started. Problem solved, sir! Smoke screen set.
Doing pretty good damage, but he did kind of mess up on that one set because he should have aimed right at because the ship wasn't moving that well. But right there, 16,000. That's a lot of damage. I'm still 3 citadels. And it would take up a Yoni about half those shells, double those shells, to basically do that kind of damage. Trying to get that's the last cruiser on the map, at least for the Furtaka. Can he get natural selection? And survey says yes.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
And 193k. And we're not even done yet. And he's dropping torps. I mean, let's be honest. In my toggle ravine, you know, we spam out torps. Spam out torps, especially in ops. And if you have this many, just do it. You never know what you're gonna get. I mean, with everything so clustered together. But you do see how his health does fall under that kind of fire.
Problem solved, sir! The ship is on fire!
There's one torp hit on the DD.
Smoke screen set.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
And he picks up the third target with the torp.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Now we're basically on the end game. This is his final score. This is going to be his final score. 230,000. 18 citadels. 8 kills. AA damage. As you can see, very pitiful. So, definitely CV food is the only downside. But other than that, she sets fire. She has a crap ton of torps. She's got decent guns. She's a beautiful op ship. As long as she doesn't run into anything but a Hermes.
That's how it's done.
Okay, 132, but who's counting? Or 232.